Vicky here with you, and today we're making some postcards. I haven't done that in a while, so I figured it would be fun to do. And we're going to be using this wonderful painty paper that I created a while back. I scanned it, and then I didn't use it for making stuff yet, so figured it would be time to use it. And so we're going to be making the postcards from scratch. I don't have any cardboard ready. Am I chopping a nail? I don't have any cardboard ready, so we're really making them from scratch. So in case you haven't been, you've never made them, you'll see how I do them. So this is a 12 by 12 piece of paper that I had recovered, and so we're gonna chop it into 2 pieces. And then we're gonna do them, so I do 4 by 6, so I'm gonna do, the cards are gonna be 4 by 6, so I'm gonna chop this up into 4. And once these are done, they will be in my Etsy store, so in case you're interested, you will be able to find them there. I do sets of 5, so this will be, I will do 5, and or do I do a set of 6? I could do a set of 6. So these are just cereal boxes, and I just love recycling whenever I can. That's what I do. So little leftover pieces like that I'm not gonna use. The rest I'm gonna put in the bin, but at least it's getting a second use out of life. And I figure it's good for the environment to reuse stuff. It always makes me feel good that I'm, reusing things and not just throwing away items. I feel we do a lot of single-use things, so these postcards can always be used, can always be actually mailed out. I always make sure that I glue them very well, just so that it does last through the mail. And I've mailed out some in the past, and they always make it totally fine. So just in case you're wondering, so there's 6 of them. So then what I'm gonna do is stamp the stamp I use is a penny black stamp. I've had it for years. It no longer is available in wood, but you can find it on my Amazon list of favorites. You can find it in acrylic stamp if you want. Obviously, if you don't have a stamp like that, you don't need one. You could just handwrite whatever on it, and that would work just as well. I like to stamp it just because it looks more professional, and obviously I'm selling these, but you will see that, sometimes when I do stamp, like for example here, there's the little bit of the stamp portion is not showing up, but it's part of the charm. This is handmade. None of them is exactly the same. that's part of the process of making something handmade and not commercially done, you know. It's not perfect, but it's unique, and I think that means a lot to a lot of people. Okay, so we've got all of that done. Then what I usually do is I put Crafting Vicky at the bottom here when I remember, so might as well do it now. Because sometimes I do forget. Okay, so that's done. And then what I'm gonna do is glue the top part onto my card. Obviously there might be, it's supposed to be 4x6, but maybe when I cut down the cardboard, it wasn't exactly perfect. It happens, so then we'll just go around and cut it with the pair of scissors. So in order for this to really glue well, what I do is I usually will put a lot of this type of glue, but then I also put a glue stick. So I use a glue stick as well, because this way I'm sure that it's gonna stay put. And then I just try to align this. And the good thing with using the glue stick as well is it gives you a chance, if your paper is not aligned perfectly, it gives you a chance to really align it. I'm just gonna make sure that all my edges are well stuck. And then I'm gonna go around and cut down the little excess that I have here. The rest seems pretty good. And anyway, I'm thinking I'm gonna go with this and just do the edge all around, and then ink it up with Vintage Photo. So it doesn't really matter that some of it has a little edge. It's gonna all work out at the end. But you do want to make sure that you go as close to the edge as possible so that your paper doesn't lift when you're when it goes through the mailing system. You can of course also put it in a regular envelope and then just put a regular stamp, because this size is just like a regular stamp. So either you mail it out as a postcard with just a regular stamp, or you could actually put it in an envelope and mail it out that way as well, if you're scared it's not going to make it. One thing too that sometimes it depends on what you're going to put on top. Obviously, if you're going to put any embellishment that are raised, then it might catch into the postal machines, and then those parts might be torn from your card. So just keep that in mind. In that case, you might prefer putting it in an envelope to protect it. Okay, so and I'm putting glue all over my hands, so obviously it's gonna get messy. The video for this might not be, you know, like it might not show a lot of time making the postcard, but the paper itself that I'm using took me a very long time to make. So, you know, when I'm selling these, you have to take that into consideration as well. Obviously, it takes a while to make the paper, and as you can see, a little chunk went off because it was glued, and so we're just gonna glue this back down. Like here, there's a little piece that's lifting because I did stitch all this paper, but some of it might come undone. So just make sure that everything is glued properly, and so that it will last through the mailing process. These are also awesome cards to use in journals. Okay, so, whoops, excess thread, remove that. And go. My scissors are getting gooey as well. Okay. Should be good. So we've got 2 left to do. Then I'm thinking I'm gonna find some flowers in my preferred book. I really love using this book to for flowers and such. Okay. My desk is getting all gummied up. And got one last one. I guess so. And this will be the last one. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I've got a feeling it's going to be fairly long. Just because I prepared the card and everything and didn't cut it out. I often try to do some of it off camera, like preparing the cardboard base and so on, but thought it might be fun. There's some new subscribers and things, and so this way you get to see the full picture in case you've never seen me make these in the past and you haven't been looking at previous old videos. So I'm just gonna distress all the edges, and now that all of this is done, and once I figure it out what I'm gonna put on top, then I will probably put some vintage photo distress ink all around it. I would like to have a little vintagey feel to these cards, so that's what I'm going for. There's a little corner that's lifting, so I'm going to glue that back down. This, if you don't have a, this is a creative memory tool that I've had in my stash for a long time, but if you don't have one of those tools, you can always use scissors. It's just a little bit, you have to be careful not to cut yourself, and that's the sort of stuff that I do. So as I know Tim Holtz also has one, and I actually have a Tim Holtz one somewhere in my stash, so I have two, because I tend to lose my stuff. So having two is useful for that. It's like those pokey tools. I'm always looking for it, and I have multiple because, yeah, I tend to misplace my stuff, and it's useful to have a few. Okay, so this is done. Now I'm gonna decide what type of image I want. So I'm thinking like flowers like this. There's a pretty one on the back. I don't think I'll be able to save it. Yeah, no, it got broken. That's the thing with these books. Obviously, sometimes you can save the other image, but sometimes you can't. Like, I think that is very pretty. The question is, do I want to add something else to it? Some old book pages. I think it's too brown. Do I want to use some of this? I also have some pattern for making clothes and stuff. I already have some of the ledger paper underneath. Or I have some tissue paper. I want to use tissue paper. That's all the part that is more like to your like you can decide as you're making it what you feel like it needs. Really love the soft aspect of this. And what else? I have some tissue paper, as I said, that I could possibly use if I can reach it. It's some Tim Holtz one. I think it takes away from the card. So honestly, I believe that it's the best would be that, just the added little fabric piece. So let's see, because in order to use that, I'm gonna need Fabrifix, because otherwise it's not gonna stay put, and I really do need that fabric to stick. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Now, do I want to put a little bit of brown to this? Am I gonna regret this? I think it defines a bit more the edges. While maintaining it sweet. Just like this. Just a bit to define it a bit better. Because there is some yellow in it too, so yeah, I think that's better. It's enough without being too much. So I don't want to have too much of this fabric either, because then I really do need it to stick. I'm going to remove the hard edge and just place it down. It will dry clear, so that's the beauty of this glue. And I can put this on top of it. This will make sure that that part doesn't move. Obviously, some of it could lift up. So probably this type of this type of postcard, I would put in an envelope. If you're going to use it, it would be better. Just so that the layer of fabric doesn't leave. Let's put this one down right away, just because I have this mountain of glue that's rising up and I don't want to waste it. This is the part with these bottles, I don't know why, but they once it gets going, it just continually rises up to the top unless you put the cover on it. Which I'm going to do right now because I don't want to have too many of the cards going at the same time. Just makes it harder. Maybe I should wait until I'm finished with all of them in order to put the sentiment on. But this is the start. So the sentiment is probably going to go over there. But we will see once I'm finished. So let's find some other flowers that have pink and that would fit with the theme that I'm going for. So this would be a pretty one. I might put that one that way so that it's not always all the same. So let's do that. Okay, and then here's my glue. Put that there. So another start. Okay, and then I have this one is pretty. So is this one. If I can cut all of these, then I might have enough for all my cards. So that would be one. Then I have another longer one here. So here's another longer one, and then I can use maybe this one. Sorry if you're hearing banging, it's my tenants. They moved in and they're probably still putting furniture, moving furniture around and that sort of thing. Okay, so there's that one. Seems a bit small though for my postcard, and so is this one. It's a little bit on the small side. So might keep those for some other project. Do I have other pink flowers that would be pretty and are a little bit bigger? could work. And I noticed that there's a pink one on the other side. So I like the torn edges. You could obviously cut it. I just find it gives, it's kind of nice to have the edges not being perfectly even. And you've seen me all this book. It's the Reader's Digest North American book, and it was $5.99 at my local Value Village, and I always, whenever I see them, I always pick them up. Okay, why did I think I had another pink flower on that? And then now I can't. Oh, yeah. Is that it? That was it. And the other pink flower, I guess, was this one, but it feels a bit small. Feels a bit small versus the other ones I've got. So maybe it's not the best. Let's see if I can find another one that's a little bit bigger. Okay, how about that one? Okay, so we've got enough. And okay, so before I go and start gluing, I'm gonna just put my vintage photo around all of these just so that it's done. And these I can put back as well in the book. Whenever I'm not using the smaller ones, I'm going to keep out, but the big one I can use on something else. I've been obsessed with vintage photo recently. Discovered my love again of this beautiful ink. I have to say it's one of my go-tos. But as anything, it comes and goes. Sometimes I'm like all into something and then like I use it all the time and then I let it go for a while and then something else picks up and yeah, it's just funny how we are, I guess. And then we fall out of love with some of our supplies and then we rediscovered them, like my distress tool that I've been rediscovering and having so much fun with. It's, I guess that's part of life. Comes and goes. Okay, so put this in its little baggie, which I don't know where it went. Where's the little baggie of the vintage photo? Oh, it's on the little ring. And its proper little ring. Okay, so that's done. And I'm gonna just finish these off by adding my images. So let's figure out Okay, so let's say I was to put this there. This could go like that. This one is definitely like that, and this one, let's say like that. So is this the right way? Yes, it is. These are okay as well. So then I'm just gonna cut a little bit of this. I do have a piece here that's already cut. Let's say that one would be good for this one. This is a little bit too tiny, and so is this one. And let's go and cut another. I love cheesecloth, and it's such a great fabric to use for making stuff like this. I just feel like it gives this little extra dimension, but it's light and it's not hiding my background, which I spend a lot of time creating. So that's the part that I like about this, because obviously when you create a background and you spend a lot of time doing it, you do want to show it off. You don't want to just completely hide it, which I feel like if I had put some other item on it, it might have. So okay, so that's that. I'm gonna put my little bin of items aside and just start gluing this down. And this glue really sticks, so once it's dry, nothing is gonna leave where it's supposed to. It's very effective. Okay, so next one. Oopsie. Here. I was never having any issues with my bottle in the past, but as it's gotten to where it's at now with the level of glue inside it, I'm having more issues with it. It's fairly expensive, this glue. At least where I'm located. And you can't find it everywhere. Make sure the paper's stuck at the same time. So as I said, usually my postcards would be safe in the mail. This one, because of the fabric on top, I would recommend using envelopes with them. If you're going to mail them out. But you can also, what I like about these is that it's almost a little piece of art, so you could actually frame it and hang it on the wall. You could use it in your journals as your journaling spot. There's many use for them. Here we go. Okay, so there's that. Now I want to use some sentiments, and I'm thinking I shouldn't have put away my my Tim Holtz, my distress ink, because I'm thinking I'm probably gonna want to add white and not black to these white sentiments. But then if I put white, I've got a feeling like it would be better if it was edged. So, like for example, Be You Bravely would be very pretty, but I think it would be prettier with a little bit of this. And obviously I don't trust that it's gonna stay put with just the regular glue, so I'm gonna actually add some of this to this, and that will be this little card. So Be You Bravely. So there's one. That would be a pretty one. Stay Strong. Feels like a good one for this card. And I'm gonna use some of the glue that just keeps on going. Okay, so here we go. So Stay Strong. And I'm actually gonna, there's a little bit of glue, excess glue that doesn't need to be there. So I'm just gonna remove it, because I don't want it on my little card. So here's that one. Then let's look at the next one. So here's this one. I think Believe in Yourself would be a good one. So, and where did my little toothpick go? I'm thinking maybe I should use a toothpick to add the glue to this. Make sure that it's covered. And here's that one. I love how soft they are. love it. Okay, so maybe this one, Never Give Up. I don't want the sentiments to be too big, so that's why I'm choosing these little ones. Let's change the way I'm doing this because it's going to take forever, because it seems to not, sometimes it really wants to pour and other times not so much, and this was one of those where it's not so much. And clearly I don't want it to take forever. Oh boy. I could go from no glue to excess glue. But, you know, it's part of the creative process, I guess. Okay, and here's that one. And then I'm gonna use Be Brave. And that will be this one. And finally, for the last one, I'm gonna do Your Best, because I just think it's a nice one for this one. And we'll have done the 6 cards. And I hope that you will have enjoyed this super long video. And if you're interested in these cards, you can find them in my store, in my Etsy store, link down below. And if not, well, you can make your own. And just by using some of your material. That was a hassle, this glue, I have to admit. So that is that. Let's see all the cards together. I think they're just so soft and pretty. So here's that one, and here they are as a complete set of 6, which I don't usually do sets of 6, usually do sets of 5. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. I will see you guys very soon. Take care and have a great week. Bye.